Hey everyone, this is going to be a quick look just as a recap since we didn't necessarily go over this explicitly in class, but how do you actually save out an image sequence and load that into Maya? The image sequence I used during class, I didn't actually make that. That was an already existing image sequence. So as always, there's a fire engine in the background apparently. As always, you want to make sure that you're checking the help docs for basic information before you start jumping into stuff. So I'm going to look in here. I looked up image planes already, and it's going to tell me what it's for and all that stuff. And now it's saying it wants image sequences or images on an image plane rather. So we have to notice that it doesn't explicitly say image sequence, it's just importing an image to an image plane. And it wants it to be name.number or name.number.extension. And I might click here and see exactly what this says. And there seems to be quite a lot of numbers and stuff going on here. But you can read through this, and that's just generally what you should make sure you're doing when you're trying to figure something like this out. Now, what I'm going to do is I have where is this? Yes, I have my a reference video that I used. Technically, on my computer, this reference video I can just load in because this is an MP4. Now, just for clarity, this is not the original file that I got off of my phone. I had brought that video from my phone that I filmed with into After Effects, edited it, and then saved that out as an MP4 with H.264 compression and all that stuff. So that might have some effect on why that would play in Maya if you're just using loading a movie in directly without compressing it or anything. It might not work, but I'm not going to cover every single possibility there. What I am going to do is just drag this into Adobe Media Encoder, and I'm going to probably save this out as a JPEG, PNG sequence. JPEG would be fine as well, but I'm going to do PNG sequence, and I'll just say manage source. I don't need alpha because I don't need this to be transparent, and I might make the name of this a little bit more simple. Now, it says it wanted name.number.extension. And so at this point, I might want to Google additional sequence naming Adobe Media Encoder. And since I'm a fool, I will just look at the first thing. Okay, this is not the right question. Import. Some of these posts are a little old. This is from 2011. This is not really getting me anything. So I'm just gonna kind of I'm gonna leave it like that and hit save, and I'm going to assume that it will add numbers on the end. So I'm just gonna hit OK. Sometimes you just gotta give it a shot and see what happens. And if I go back to my folder, I can see all those images popping in there. So it's automatically naming everything from 000, 001 all the way to whatever the last frame of this is. I believe this animation was only about 10 seconds or so, maybe less. So there shouldn't be that many frames. Presumably, if you had much more frames than three numbers, then it would go past that. But now it's finished already. And I can go into Maya now, create my free image plane, and try and load that in. And don't forget, you have to check use image sequence. So it's already working. So, you know, I don't know why the help docs in Maya said that it had to have a period in it. It seems like it's still working, but it does have to still have numbers in order that all have the same kind of number of units. So three numbers after the name. You could use Adobe Bridge if you have access to Adobe Bridge to batch rename multiple files, and you could try adding in a decimal place or a period, whatever you want to refer to it as, between the name and the number. And also one last thing is that I am playing in my timeline at 24 frames per second. If you have it playing set to play every frame, then it might not work properly. So you want to make sure that all your settings are correct for your timeline. Anyway, so honestly, it's working for me, and I can't make it not work. So if anybody's having issues, I'm not really sure how much more assistance I can give you without just doing the same research on the internet that you would be able to do yourself. I mean, I can try helping you out, but try just doing the same thing that I just did. And if that's not working, then it might be something with the computer you're using, and you may have to go work in the lab computers, because the graphics card that the lab computers have should be functional for running image sequences in the viewport. Alright, that's pretty much all I was going to say for this, so hope you can all figure it out, and good luck.